is about self-expression. It is about finding my voice. It is about tapping into something greater than me that can be expressed through me, that I can bring to this planet, that I hope can be for good and to um, bring joy to myself and to others. It is about self empowerment, finding who am I? What am I here to contribute? That can be a very powerful experience. It's also about a sacred connection to something greater than myself. So the visual arts for me are is how I express myself. It's not everybody's path to creativity, but it is mine. And I feel that what that brings for me is what that means to me is it is a way to go within, to be quiet, to tune out. When I'm creating, when I am making art, I have two different things happening at the same time. One is I'm getting quiet and I am putting a lid on the noise of the day, of my life, of my worries, of my stress. It is a chance to just be present in the moment, just focusing on what I'm creating and the colors or the texture. And altered books that I make, it can be about which little figurine is going to go where and how am I going to glue things together. What will enhance something that I'm working on, and that's all I'm focused on in that moment present. And it is so freeing to have a break from the worries of the day about money or bills or what the people in my life are doing or not doing, or, the control that as a human we feel like we need to have. It is a break from all of that. That's the first thing. The second thing is that also at the same time, there is an inner voice, a critic that is telling me I'm not doing it right. I'm doing it wrong. There is a better way to do it. I'm never going to be successful selling my art, for example, or that people aren't going to like it. People will judge me. People will think I'm weird. Absolutely, people will think I'm weird. It doesn't make sense. And that is the hardest part about a creative life. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But it is also an opportunity to recognize those voices, to acknowledge them, and then to show them the door and say, while I'm creating, you have to take a seat over here. Sometimes what I've done, and I've done this in many different classes and workshops that I've taken over the years, is you keep a running list of what the voices are telling you while you're trying to create. And it's like a parking lot. You put them over in that parking lot and you say, that's fine. Say that. But right now I'm just creating and you get to wait over here. All the negative voices, the gremlins, as I like to call them. And I've got that from somebody else also in all these years of creating. So take those voices, those negative voices that tell us we're not good enough, that we are imperfect, and ask them to just wait. They get to wait over here. But you have to do it actively. It is something that is ongoing, unfortunately. But I think to acknowledge that part of the creative path is really important. It's vital to have this Pollyanna version of like, oh, it's just so beautiful and joyful and I'm creating. That's not realistic, I don't think. And to be able to acknowledge the negative talk that goes on in our head while creating then can help us be more aware of the negative talk in the rest of our day, in the rest of our life. Where else are we having so much negativity? All just up here in our head. It's not even somebody directly in our life that's doing it, it's all inside our head. So the more we practice a creative path, the more opportunity we have to slow down and acknowledge those negative voices and take a break from them. Purposefully take a break and tell them to wait. And so that it's like a muscle. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And you can catch yourself in those moments of self doubt and beating yourself up that you're not good enough, and take a break from it, put it aside, and those moments become longer, or you can catch yourself easier, faster, sooner. And hopefully, and I feel like this has been for me, it's taking a break more often from those negative voices. I'm dedicated to, for the rest of my life, to sharing this idea with folks, with everyone, to reclaim for yourself a creative path, whatever that means for you. And I want to help others to question our society that prioritizes the practical financial side of life, success, earning a lot of money, buying a lot of stuff, To me, that is not a as is it's done a lot of harm to our planet and to each other. We give up connection to others because we have to work so hard. And I would love for more people to reclaim a life that is more about joy, connection, being present, using our hands to bring something into the world and not just buying something as retail therapy, for example. So for me, creative finding my creative voice is also very much about wanting to give back to others. I want nothing more than to encourage others to find their creative voice, whatever that means or looks like, and to have them create time for themselves because there are so many benefits to this creative life. But it's not only for ourselves, for myself, for oneself. It is also about creating a better world. To me, these two concepts are completely entwined. A creative path for good. And in all the work that I'm doing and moving forward, it's very much about that. I I have a phrase that I use, and not everybody gets it at first, but I really feel like I've been encouraged to use it and make it my catchphrase because it's really the core and foundation of what I do. And that phrase is navel gazing for a cause. So if you're familiar with navel gazing, looking at your belly button, lots of inner work, inner introspection, reflection, looking down inward. And some people can get stuck there and you spend your entire time just kind of in this silo of, of self awareness and reflection, which is really important. But I feel that you also have to look up and see what's around you and what's going on in this world and be an active participant in creating a better world. And so that's why I believe in having a cause. What is your cause? Everybody has a different cause. Everybody has different areas that they are lit up and have such a drive and passion for making the world a better place. It could be as a parent for your children. It could be globally, ending war. It could be economic systems that you would like to transform. It could be your own neighborhood, making your neighborhood safer for children. It could be beautifying your world. There's just so many ways that we can make this place a better world. And I feel that each and every one of us, if we can combine this level of self awareness, have a creative path that brings us joy and fills us up, and then turn that towards doing good in the world and changing and transforming the world, envisioning a world that is so much better than what we've got right now. To me, that is a recipe for a wonderful planet. And I'm going to keep working in that direction.